Hello, welcome to my video and YouTube channel. This is Farel, and today I'm going to be working on ROBot TOD page 17. It's I didn't finish coloring it. I just did the inks, and next week I'll have a video with it colored, hopefully. And yeah, here I'm just kind of laying in the page and showed on previous videos how I ruled it out and use a template to get these 4-panel grid that I use pretty much on every page. I might have like a few splash pages per issue, but for the most part, I think I'm just going to do these 4-panel pages. And so that was the roughs of the first page of the first session. Just these pencils here, just quick, I guess, roughs of the rough drawings here. I pretty much figured out where I wanted the lettering to go and what I wanted the characters to be saying. I have it written out on my notes app on my phone. And here I'm referencing the previous page to kind of add some more detail and refine everything using a card, like a stiff postcard to use as a straight edge for these monitors. And I'm just did a lot of redrawing on the second panel to get that pose right. I was pretty happy with the drawing in the fourth panel, the head, but I had to keep redrawing that too. And once I get the pencils a little more locked in, I'm gonna pause this voiceover, and I recorded a quick sort of a 3-point perspective lesson or whatever, just sort of how I do it, which I learned from How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. So yeah, here you can see that the pencils are a little more refined. I've used several times the piece of cardboard to get the straight edge, and then I'll go over the lines again and then erase them. And yeah, that third panel there that you just saw, that was probably the most tricky, just because it was normally I just sort of fake it just to do like a natural space of kind of like, okay, this is sort of where all the lines will go, sort of based on my idea of what the room would look like. But here I kept sort of it just kept looking weird, so I decided to actually try to do like a 3-point perspective with that in mind. Yeah, there you can see the lettering. I didn't record a lot of the pencils for this video. I was just doing it on my couch and just other places. So you see, like, in between these pictures that I'm taking, you can see that the drawings have changed quite a bit and gotten a little more refined, especially that fourth panel there, where I think even after that I changed the drawing again. I just wasn't happy with how Fern Fells looked. I think this page was a little more complicated than previous pages. That's why I wasn't able to get this done this week, or the coloring finished this week. I pretty much have it locked in with the inking and all that. But yeah, this I spent a lot of time. You can see in the first couple panels that I added a lot more detail. There's a lot of detail and a lot of things going on in this page compared to the previous pages. A lot more lettering as well too. Very small lettering in some cases. Okay, up next, 3-point perspective. I thought I would show in the third panel how I did like a 2 and a 3-point perspective. It's kind of a cheap 3-point perspective, but I think you'll get the idea. Basically, there's imaginary horizon line, like I said in the last video about 1-point perspective. It's about right here. Like your eye level, the reader's eye level is about right here. And I believe I made all these lines on this side are receding to this point here. There's a little indentation in the page, which you can't really, it'll be covered up by the inks, but there's like a little pencil indentation right there. So with your rule, so that's basically where the horizon line would be, your eye level. So imagine there's like a little, like a little, where is it? There it is. Like a little dotted line here. Basically where the horizon line would be. right? Okay, and so you have all these intersecting lines going towards that dot. Yeah, I sped the video up here a little bit right here, just because it was kind of boring with the me just making these lines. So it's twice the speed. I don't want to sound like a chipmunk, so I re-recorded the voice there. Like all these lines are going to that point, that vanishing point there. And so with the 2-point perspective, you have the horizon line and you'd have 2 vanishing points. And it's important that they're both on the same horizon line, otherwise it'll look funny. So the other lines going away from you would be these lines, you know, because you have the floor line, the walls line, all those lines going towards this vanishing point. But the other lines going away from you are these lines here, and these lines here, these lines here. And because of the extreme angle of this being so close, this vanishing point is going to be off the page over here somewhere. So I kind of roughly estimated it. I actually didn't rule it out, so it's probably not going to be exact. But if this is the horizon line, it should intersect somewhere around here. Is that even on the, yeah. Okay, so I guess that's the idea. So it looks like this is a little, these ones are a little off. But I don't really think it matters that much. Yeah, it looks like they're all kind of going slightly off here. And these ones are probably going to be closer. Yeah. Just so long as they're not, I mean, it's okay if they, you know, your eye kind of tweaks things anyway, so it's not like that big of a deal. But I think it's important to basically either have them be parallel or kind of wider at this point than at this point. If that makes any sense. So yeah, the two vanishing points, all these lines going that way to this vanishing point, and all these lines going to that vanishing point. And then you have a third, for the 3rd point perspective, you have a third arbitrary vanishing point that's below your feet, basically below eye level. So imagine these lines and these lines, the ones going down, because you're looking down on it, they would intersect eventually far below. So it would go really far, take several pieces of papers to find the exact arbitrary vanishing point. But that's basically the idea. So this vanishing point, that vanishing point. Okay, so hopefully that made some amount of sense. I'm speeding up the video here again because it's just me reiterating the same points here. Two vanishing points on one horizon line with a third arbitrary vanishing point below. So it doesn't have to be exact, and I don't really care if it's exact, so long as it looks sort of right. That's the idea. I usually just try to guess it. So here's like the finished pencils and pretty much ready to go inking. And I start inking here. I usually do like the lettering first, but this time I was sort of doing each panel, one panel at a time. Well, it jumped around a little bit, but since I had that tracing paper already attached, I decided to use that as a hand guard, a smudge guard, because I had a lot of graphite like penciling on it. I didn't want to smear all over the place. So yeah, here I'm just after I lettered it, I'm going in and erasing all the little pencil lines underneath the ink lines. Oh, and then I decided I wasn't sure if I wanted to ink her because she was on this monitor, so I left the 2 figures on the monitors in the first panel blank, but I decided to go ahead and ink her since she's like interacting with Todd, and I kind of wanted her to pop a little more. So she's on the screen talking to him, but that's pretty much what I got this week. Thanks for watching this video. I have a Patreon if you want to check that out, Farel Dal, and an Instagram, Farel Dal, and a Tumblr, which is, I think Popgun War is my Tumblr name. I'm not sure, but you can look for me on there. All right, I'll see you in about a week. Bye.